Now, let's talk about the teams at the bottom now. Incredible stuff, Joseph. Last year, first and second. This year, 19th and 20th. I'm talking about Rivers United.
And Enugu Rangers. But I would start.
I don't know. Yes, it's true. Yes.
But I would start with Enugu Rangers. I must say I'm disappointed. Well, they still have 3 matches in hand. And if they win, well, hopefully if they do, because it's Nigeria professional football where we wins, are very difficult to come by. So it might be pretty difficult for them. But I think for Enugu Rangers, I'm disappointed. I think the caliber of players they have, to my own understanding, can't deal with the pressure of playing on the continent. And also Nigerian professional football. As a big club like Enugu Rangers, one of the most successful Nigerian clubs, if I'm correct in that one, I expected that after we won the league, they should have at least brought in some players who can, combine continental football and also playing domestically. Well, they brought in players, but I don't think those players can deal with the pressure. I think that cost Enugu Rangers this season.
That pressure. No, he got 3 games ultimatum, right? It's over, right? He lost 2. He drew 1, and even at home against Remo Stars.
So, what's happening there now? Apparently, he wasn't even in charge of that game against Aimba.
Well, was suspended because he came late. I think that was the last game.
Yeah, Stanley Aguma. Yeah, we're talking about
Stanley Rivers United at this point.
Mama. Yeah, 3 match ultimatum, and he's lost on 2, drawn 1. And it's looking like it's curtains for him right now. We're expecting a decision from the management of Rangers any moment from now.
Well, we're expecting. But
will you be surprised if he's sacked?
I won't be. I won't be surprised. But as I said, they still have 3 games in hand. But the ultimatum given to him is over as we speak. Yeah. The next 3 games, if they win, that would take them automatically, out of the relegation, so which might be pretty difficult. But when you start drawing games against the Remo Stars that have been battling relegation at some point before they brought in Fatai Osho, it shows a lot about the players in depth you have, in that squad. So for me, I think if he's sacked alongside Claudio Lujongbe, I won't be surprised.
You won't be surprised.
I don't even understand why Sunshine is actually giving a coach ultimatum and all that. The same Sunshine that was practically begging the government to pay the players and all that. The LMC had to, come to the rescue and, offset some of the bills and all. That's really not cool. But we're looking at Stanley Aguma now. He got 1-month suspension in that one against. We knew it was always going to be difficult and all that against Gombe United. They lost that one. So we're waiting for any news coming from these 2 clubs. Rivers, are we going to hear something at the end of the day? Or Rangers, are we going to hear something at the end of the day about these 2 coaches' ultimatum we're giving? And these coaches haven't been able to, to go ahead and actually, win these games. But I know it's rather difficult. But I really don't think it's time for these coaches to go. Maybe we'll.
What do you mean? Are you being serious? Don't you know what the game is about? It's results.
Let's see what the table is like.
And they're not getting the results.
We'll see what the table is like. If you look at what the table is like, you understand what we're talking about. From bottom, the top 10 here.
Yeah, Plateau United, first, El Kanemi, second, and MFM third. As it is right now, the season ends, all the 4 teams will represent Nigeria on the continent, but the season is not over. Still a lot of games left. So the likes of Aimba, Kano Pillars, FC Fianyuba, Aqua United, they still believe that they can make a run towards the end of the season. Let's go to the bottom now, and that's where the drama is. Rangers International at the very bottom, 13 points from 14 games. Not good enough
at
all.
That's how poor they are.
Not extremely poor. Yeah, Rivers United 19th and Sunshine Stars. Interestingly, all 3 coaches obviously are under pressure. When you're, the last 3 teams in the Nigerian Professional Football League, it's only right that you're under pressure. And Cecilia,
maybe they should wait till match day 20.
Yeah, well, it depends on the management of the clubs.
Looking at the Rivers United 19th and Enugu Rangers, occupying the 20th position on the log. I think, as I said, with the 3 matches remaining, that might take them to 11 to 12 on the table. So, but that is not where you expect a defending champion to be at this point in time. But I think playing continental football and domestic football might have cost them.
Maybe.
Just that one.
Maybe, I think so. Because to look at the schedule, not too good. At the point they had to play on a Wednesday, they played on a Saturday away from home, came back to play again. I think that caused them. Maybe fatigue to an extent you want to, say the reason, but I think for me, combining both those players are not.
Last season, Chisom Egbuchulam was the best player. I don't think there's any debate about that. He's left now, and it's just one player, but do you think his absence has actually contributed to their poor play this season?
Well, some would say that. They built their team around Chisom Egbuchulam last season. Don't forget, it was their highest goal and one of their best a player in the league. And down this, they've struggled in terms of scoring goals. 14 matches, and they still have -4 on the table, which says in terms of converting the chances, they lack in that direction. So for me, I think maybe Egbuchilem, yes, cost them, but I still think they've got quality players.
Okay.
As I said, fatigue one, and playing away from home, I mean, on continental level, cost them.
Cost them, and also with all the games coming together, like 3, 4, 5 games. Okay, that also added to it. If we can take some tweets coming from Sunshine Stars. This is a very funny one because when Shooting Stars, when you lose like that and you tweet about your opponents, well, it's actually okay. But then one thing I got from there was actually, after losing 4 goals to 2, they were actually praising the referee for the game. They said the tie was actually firm, it was fair, and it was friendly. So when you have something like this, coming from a club, it shows that NPFL is winning. And another one said we lost 2-4 and we rallied round late to reduce the tally. Despite the shabby first half, it was almost a good recovery. They're really not so sad and down about that loss.
The reason why they're not so sad is because
the officiating was perfect. And they were not robbed.
Which is good. That's fine. But they were 4-0 down and they managed to
crawl.
And it's got 2 goals.
So it's not too embarrassing because the 4-0 defeat on a 4-2 defeat.
Yeah, but kudos to Ibrahim Alassane. Don't forget he got a hat-trick in 16 minutes. That's massive.
Yeah, that's for Aqua United.
Aqua United.
So Aqua United, they're back. They started very poor, but right now they are bouncing back, and the teams that started on fire, we know where they are right now. Quickly talk about the EPL now. I mean, some games decided. We focus on the one for Sunday, Arsenal and Manchester City. Well, I think City actually helped United, to remain at 5th position because they squandered the lead twice, where it ended 2-2. And also the game between Swansea and Middlesbrough and United, they've drawn 11 games this season.
United, they've drawn 8. At Old Trafford. I mean,
and in all they've drawn 11.
And that's the reason.
11 or 12.
Yeah, that's the reason why they're 5th on the table. And a lot of those draws at Old Trafford, Joseph, a lot of those draws they dominated. They just couldn't take the chances.
Why
is it so hard?
Why are we going to United? I mean, we'll focus on the games of things, right? If we can look at the tweets coming from some of the players and all that, especially in Didi, I mean, he scored his first goal for Leicester City in the Premier League, and it was fantastic. About said good win, another 3 points, magnificent support. Happy to score my first Premier League goal. And Leon Balogun, had to praise, his tactics and all that. He says, I mean, they should be scoring that kind of goal for Super Eagles. He said, bro, I mean, more like in Nigerian English, he said, bro, how come you never shoot like this for the Super Eagles? Just playing with you, okay? Great goal, one hell of a strike. That's his counterpart from Nigeria, Leon Balogun, actually praising that strike. Now, this one coming from Arsenal, players after that draw, back on top. I don't know why, Mustafi had to do this 2-2 home draw. Glad I could help the team with my goal. Pity we didn't get all 3 points. And another one coming from Mesut Ozil. That's the guy that were actually buoyed. They said he disappeared. They didn't see him. They shared points against Manchester City. We have to keep going and get back on winning ways against West Ham. Go on a break now. We'll come and look at the results, and also we'll be looking at the papers.